for all of it. But the American armies, because there are other armies in the world. But if we get up together seriously and disarm the world and create one universal government, accepting all the national boundaries and laws of every country, and take care of the universal government issues such as environment, such as many things that are universal right now, what a wonderful world would that be? These ideologies, divine source of it, Baha'u'llah could have not learned it from any Iranian. No one in the world was saying these things before him. He's the first one to bring this up. He is the fulfillment of all the religions of the past. He is the evolution of Christianity, of Islam, of all the good ideologies. So, if you have this thought in all the schools, government-run programs to introduce Baha'i faith to people, it gives them the purpose. The most brilliant part of this Baha'i faith as an ideology is about the definition of who man is. Baha'u'llah says, this entire universe, I've seen it, and you go in a prairie, it's round, it just looks like the belly of a woman. He says, this is the material world, the mother nature. We are here to develop spiritual qualities, such as kindness, such as giving, such as understanding, such as service, humility. These are the spiritual power. When we die, it will continue, let us to exist another life. Baha'u'llah's teaching tells us man is like a computer that has a hardware and a software, and it comes with that software within. Imagine just like a Windows. Your body is the hardware in the computer, and a Windows 95, Windows 2000, whatever window we have right now, is installed on your brain like a CD is in it. You have to write your own file, who you are. That file is what you are. When you die, the hardware goes away. If the software of you has meaning to it, and at the end of this class, this level of existence, you have put a very good file, that file automatically exists in a different level of existence. This is not another place. It's right here in here. In the level of animals, in the level of the plants, if you look at them, there is a life in there for sure. You know, by definition we say plants. But do they understand animals? No, because they have no senses. Do animals understand human being? No, because they have no thinking power. They think we're another animal. The same manner, there are spirits right here. We speak, we talk, but the human being cannot understand them. So there are many levels of existence. Just as plants doesn't know they exist in their own, so you do not know about them. How do we do it? Baha'u'llah says that Baha'i faith is like that creation of the internet. But a Baha'i, a human being, by studying it, by practicing to be a human being, gradually subscribes himself to the internet of God. He comes up to higher understanding and activate a different program in him. More than a human being, he will become a spiritual being. Sometimes we see among ourselves, why would Nelson Mandela go 27 years in jail, for the sake of humanity, or Mother Teresa, or so many thousands of others that you know. This feeling, this need is essential in human being. If you think we can live without religion, that was the idea, because religions of the past, where they were like food and they were expired. Of course, if you take expired food, what's going to happen? You get poisoned, you die. So Europeans said that, you know what, in this industrial revolution, we have found out that these things are not compatible, we set it aside. Good step. The first thing to be healthy is not to eat poisonous food. But can you be without food for such a long, long time? Can you? Because, as I said, ideas of the philosophers and scientists and artists and all that is not going to work. is not going to create that feeling of trust that men and women they need and their wish to raise the children. It has to be a bigger power. So what is the message of Baha'u'llah? Is that center of gravity. His message is a spiritual gravity. Just like the sun that is a center on its mass, creating an order within the solar system, Baha'u'llah is that spiritual center around which everything comes in an order, in a spiritual order. We can take care of our economy and our social values, but this is a spiritual understanding which we have to go towards it and get that energy. If this Norwegian boy knew of this, such thing exists, so he would not go and create his own religion and go back to the level 1, 6,000-7,000 years ago in the cave, and he thinks, okay, you want to be powerful, you have to kill people. That's what Mayans and Aztecs and others, pagan religions, they knew. Killing, sacrificing human beings. This is what Bin Laden is doing. We call him terrorist. This is what George Bush did. We call him a politician. And this is what Norwegian boy is doing. We call him criminal. But they're all doing the same thing. Killing human beings for the sake of power. Self-satisfaction of some sort. Which is totally diabolical. Because the lack of answer is there. So what do we have to do? We have to pay attention to this. That there is a dimension that is instinct. Religions, maybe in Middle East was created by Moses and Jesus and Abraham, and in India and China by Buddha, Krishna. There was no prophet, known prophet to us in Africa. How come there are religions there too? Among the Mayans and the Indians in North America. The lack of the proper spiritual value today in 20th century is popping up religions every day. It's all indicative that instinctively man needs religion, needs an explanations. He needs a conclusive idea. Science cannot keep up with all these answers. So there has to be some kind of a theory, a postulation, worldwide acceptable. This is what Baha'i faith is. A solution for today. The third dimensions of your two-dimensional world, of your economy and the social value with a third dimension of the spirituality, like body and the soul together, it brings everything in order. Now in the Eastern Bloc, such as Russia, the lovely country of Russia, people are not too much engaged in these things and they find these talks useless. Because as I said, they are already in the level of fixing the economy and the social value. But as soon as those things are done, a country is up, then the problem appears again. This is not a problem for belonging to Russians or Iranians. Anywhere, when the two levels of the economy and the social values happen and goes up, man has to do. One of the solutions comes from Bill Gates, for example. You could see this man spending more than 3 billion to 4 billion a year to satisfy his spiritual need. He doesn't call it religion, but he's trying to be a part of humanity. So there is a need to be a human being. Soul needs to be fed. The psyche of man requires to practice to be a human being. This has to become a part of the legislation in any constitutions of any country if humanity is going to survive. If not, dear European people, you are going to have to deal with a lot of problems that is going to come as a result of it. But if you get up and teach these things, government-run program, people, all of them, you got the students to teach. Who are those? Africans. You have to take care of them. They've been exploited. You all know. Years and years, hundreds, 500, they were taken, kidnapped as a slave. All the time by white people. mainly Europeans, you people. This is the conscience of Europe. You have to get up, create army, social army, a spiritual army from all the people in Europe. Send them to Africa to go and do good work. Teach people, acculturate people, bring them up to your level. If you don't do that, osmosis pressure is going to take work. Osmosis, you know what that is, eh? You and in Africa are two different, the pressure is going to get in there. And I have foreseen that Africans will come and invade Southern Europe. They will loot Vatican right down to a T. All these countries. Everything is going to a chaotic end. Please, you politicians, you artists, you philanthropists. I'm elder of God, but I cannot, in my possession, there is not more than this, thanks to the Googles and the YouTubes that they provided this, that I talk to and talk about it to you. Parents, they have to go study the Baha'i faith. It's all over the computer. They have to answer their children at age 15, 14. They ask mom and dad where they come from, what is God. If you do not have a scientific, proper understanding of the question to them, they will learn it from other people. And then they say, our mom and dad are stupid because we learned it somewhere else. Or they will leave it completely, let it go. And if they do let it go, then you know where they end. Either like this Norwegian boy, who will find an answer for himself, or they die under the matrix installations of the material of cocaine and alcohol and everything else that installed in their head, and they die in a different way. We are in the junctions, in the evolutions of the civilization, that we have to answer these questions. How do we create a human soul that's happy? There is no other place except family. And who runs the family? Prophets of God. Religions of the past are not compatible. Then we have to make one. If you couldn't make one, find one. There is only one I found. It's called Baha'i faith. And that is compatible with you. Then your conflict with the Muslims and the Africans and all other people is going to go away. If not, it will be a very sad and catastrophic end to this social evolution that cost so many years to make it. May the Spirit of the truth and God be with you.